Great awakening, light lords, and grand rising to those who have not yet awoken, to know that the plants, the factories, are the plants of the lower self. And we have the higher self plants that we should be connecting to, which is, all of this around here, We should be connecting to these things, listening to the birds and the crickets and the different insects communicate with one another, okay? The different expressions of nature. Once you get out in your environment, immediate environment, and connect with that nature and ground, you will connect with the ionic energy, the photonic energy of the sun, and drink the best water you can, get some clean water. You will begin to activate your mind, your higher mind, anyway. There's a lower self mind. There's a self where you're always thinking that something bad is going to happen, that you always have to prepare for something coming against you, basically victimizing yourself. You're constantly victimizing yourself, and you even thinking on a level to think you need some type of, protection, like you need a gun or you need, anything, pepper spray, you need any of that. You even thinking that you need any of that keeps you in a state, in a lower vibration, keeps you in a state of actually needing that, okay? It keeps you in a state of needing that. You thinking you need that, you thinking you need a gun, you thinking you need a sword, a blade, you think you need pepper spray, you thinking you need any type of weapon, okay? No weapon formed against me shall prosper. You know why? Because it's not made like plants, okay? It's not made how plants are made. Plants are made from an infinite source. Plants are made from a source where the seed is the plant, okay? Where the herb is the seed, every herb bearing seed and every fruit bearing seed. Those are things that we should be eating, because it's a constant reciprocation of information. The seed is the fruit, okay? And then the fruit gives out seeds. The fruit creates seeds. Then those seeds create more fruit. It's constant. You don't see a weapon creating another. You don't see that. You know what I mean? You just don't. You have to actually be mentally separated. You have to actually separate your good mentalities in order to even create a weapon of that nature. In order to even create a weapon from nature, you have to take it, do all types of stuff to it, man-made things. You have to do all types of stuff to it. These different metals or whatever, wood, anything. You have to take it and you have to do something to it in order to change the way that it's naturally made, to create it and to make it into a weapon. Like these plants out here, these factories. When I say plants now, I mean factories. They call them plants or plantations or, fields of work, of lower self work, of just, focusing on the Babylonian system just to give money back. Just to reciprocate something that's not real, this paper money, this IOUs, these plants that take nature and boil it down and break it down and alchemize it and puff out this gases, this smog into the air, this carbon monoxide and dioxide and all of these different chemicals that we should not be breathing. You're taking down you're cutting down the trees, you're cutting down the real plants to create fake plants. You're cutting down the higher self plants like these to create lower self plants where you constantly take from nature and don't give back. You don't give back anything. You don't give back anything that's actually beneficial to nature, okay? It's okay to take from nature, but it's not okay to not give anything beneficial back in return, and reciprocate it. So what we should be doing is connecting to these plants, the higher self, okay? Nature is the highest frequency on this realm right now in physical form, okay? So we should be connecting to nature. We should see that these plants are of the lower self. These plants of Babylon, these plantations, these plants that give out smog, that mess up your environment so that you can't breathe. You're taking trees from the earth that give you oxygen, and they reciprocate with you by you giving them. Once you breathe in that oxygen, you give out carbon dioxide, okay, which the plant then takes and uses as food, breaks it down as one of its sources of food. Okay, this is a reciprocation. The tree is actually you. The bush is you. The fruit, the herb bearing seed is you. Okay, it is your higher self. These other plants, the lower self plants in Babylon, are your lower self. They're you too, but they're you on a lower thought frequency. Okay, they're you too, but they're you in confusion, not knowing how to give back to nature, not knowing how to give back to yourself, not knowing how to be in a complete state of oneness and cleanliness, godliness. Okay, hop on your God ship. Take your ego, your ship, and move it into these areas as much as possible. Okay, move it into these areas, these natural areas, as much as possible. Begin to unravel your state of thinking. You begin to unravel your thinking, and you will see why everything happens in your life. You will begin to meet people that either match the frequency that you want to be on, or match the frequency or the thinking state that you are on currently, in order for you to learn that. Okay, in order for you to learn that you're the one thinking that way. There is no protection needed. Okay, there's no protection needed in nature, because truly we do not die. There is no such thing as death. And what people mean by death is really just transformation. You're transforming from one form to another. Okay, that's the law of conservation of energy. There's a scientific fact that energy cannot be created or destroyed, only transformed from one form to another. Okay, so you really can't die. All these people out here fearing the government, fearing saving another person's life. A person might be getting kidnapped or beaten or stabbed or shot, and people are just so fearful. They're so fearful of saving another person's life that they just won't do it. And this speaks a lot. This tells you a lot about your own state of thinking. If you're scared to actually go and help another person in fear for your life, then you don't know how life works. Okay, because the simple fact that you can even think of saving someone and actually put action into it and save another person that's in a lower vibration, that's actually going through something that's lower, will actually show that you think on a higher level. Okay, and that when you transform, if you even get in a situation like that, and someone, say someone stabs you, or does the same thing to you that they're doing to the other person that you're trying to save, and you transform, then you are going to come back. You're going to transform into something better. Okay, because you were thinking on a better mind state. You were thinking on, okay, this person is on a lower level situation. Let me intervene in this and help both parties out, because first of all, the person that's getting stabbed had to think on a certain level, and the person that's getting stabbed or shot or whatever had to be in a certain vibration to even have that happen to them, because everything is a reflection of self. And the person doing it, of course, is in a bad state of mind to even think of doing that to another person. Okay, so what you're really doing is you're intervening, and you're trying to separate those two energies and reflect. And by you doing this, you're reflecting both of those selves. You're reflecting the part of yourself, the goodness that's within yourself, back to the subconscious mind of both parties, the one that's getting stabbed and the one that's doing the stabbing. You're reflecting that back to them by intervening and being a pacemaker, and you're programming that into their subconscious mind. Okay, you're programming that into their subconscious mind, which is your true self, and all of that will reflect back to you in your next incarnation or your next life or during your transformation. Okay, so don't be scared of the government. Connect with these plants. Okay, connect with these plants and do and become more righteous and know thyself. Okay, I love myself, man. I'm finna get out of here, man. I am Jah Mashak, and I am here to live out and teach higher wisdom as an example for the collective consciousness. Share and subscribe. Back to nature movement. Let's get at it. All right. Peace. Peace.